Aries, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for mid-June 2024. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Aries collective. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here, my guides. Talk to me. What do you got for us Rams in mid-June? We're towards the tail end of Gemini season. What energies, messages, insights, all that good stuff do you have for us? And yeah, we're going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean in on, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Aries, please. Let's get this first card out. What's happening for the Rams here? Nice and quick. All right. So this card to me has a lot of depth connected to it. Now, it is a Hierophant-like energy. It also deals with spirituality and the unknown, which I'm sure some of you could see by the symbolism we have going on here. So there's a lot of layers, even though it's a little simple at face value. But before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the June subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. Also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's talk a little bit more about this card. So it is lovely. I do like the soft energy that this card brings. And you see this individual, they're blindfolded, and it looks like they're going through and touching all these different emblems of spirituality and religion. So for a lot of Aries, there's really good energy around that, whether you're exploring your beliefs or your beliefs might be changing in this time. Maybe you're just taking in a lot of spiritual information with this card. But I always say the fact that this person is blindfolded, they are dealing with the unseen, the unknown. So for some Aries out there, there might be certain situations where you don't know how it's going to turn out, or there could be something that's just right outside of your view when this card is here. Now, again, it feels positive at face value for the most part, and we'll see if these themes start showing up throughout the reading itself. I would say anything spiritual or involving spiritual practice is highly favored, though. And for some Aries, you might just be a little more intuitive and empathetic in this time. Like you could be feeling the energy of others and places that you are. They could be affecting you in different ways. So we're just going to put that down for now. Let's get into tarot. And I always say that first card there, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. Let's get your 3 cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time for Aries, please, my guides. And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. Now, one thing I would like to mention, it seems like the last couple of weeks, a lot of the energy I've been picking up on was that of your surroundings or people around you. And last week's reading was titled They Are Planning. So a lot of mental action, a lot of thinking, a lot of thought going on. Now, as an Aries myself, I know we are action oriented. We like to get things moving. We like to get things going. We initiate things. There was a much more strategic energy at play last week. So whether that was somebody else that's setting a plan into motion, maybe you are, who knows. But let's see what shows up this week. As you know, energy is very fluid. It's never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or someone that you're linked to. Let's get it going. 3 cards for Aries, please, to start us off. What do we got in mid-June? Quick. Very first shuffle. Okay, so we do have a card of the past. Could also be partnerships, depending. I always find it intriguing when we start with the 6 of Cups, because it's not really current type of energy. Let's get a couple more here. Quick. Ace of Cups. Nice. All right. I mean, we are picking up on a really heavy emotional theme already with the double down of the Cups energy, and we'll talk about it a little more. Let's get one more out here, and we'll start piecing this together. Quick, the cards are just jumping out for Aries this week. Okay, we do have the Hermit. So very similar to this Oracle card that we have in the beginning. Very spiritual, very mystical, but also there's something about the unknown or something you don't quite see just yet, because that's an obscured type of energy. But let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, and we'll get into that juicy, intuitive stuff. So at first look, first glance, I like the elemental mix that we're playing with here, because we have a double down, pardon me, of this water energy. Now, in divination and in tarot, water energy represents the realm of emotion, imagination, creativity, love, romance, all of that stuff. So it is pretty good, especially connected with the Hermit, earthy energy. I always say when you mix Water and earth, there's a recipe for potential. So for a lot of Aries, there could be certain situations you're dealing with now, even if they're rough, there could be great potential for growth. But let's go through one by one and really see what's happening, because we do have a card of the past, we have a card of what's new, and then we have this obscured energy. So let's go through piece by piece. So position number one, I know I was already commenting about it a little earlier. We have the Six of Cups. Now you see these two little children right there, they're sharing cups with each other. So I always say, whether this is a partnership or a connection, a soul bond, a soul tie, someone that you have a ton of history with, all of those things could be in play when the Six of Cups is here, especially those soul ties. And I know I already said you could be very empathetic and feeling the energy of others. This card links into that as well. But if I were to cast a big net on this card, it's the past, it's memories. So for a lot of Aries, whether this is a person or you're just taking trips down memory lane, there's something about the past that could be affecting what you're currently going through now or what you're going to be going through coming up. So it's going to be intriguing to see what's going on here. Now, where this has a lot of really good positive energy, at the same time, it could represent rough memories or rough history too. We really want to take a look at the clarifier when it pops out. Six of Cups, very emotional. Okay, so another thing, a lot of Aries, you could be feeling things extremely deeply in this time. Now, moving to the center, lovely card, one of my favorites in the whole entire deck. We have Ace of Cups, beautiful. Now, I always say all aces, every single one from every suit, represents offers, it represents opportunities. So for a lot of you, there could be a real nice offer or opportunity coming up, and we'll dig into it a little further. But since this is of the Cup suit, it deals with a lot of similar things to the Six of Cups. Your emotional state, your emotional well-being. Maybe it's going to show us how someone you're connected to is feeling, or how they are functioning on an emotional level. It could represent tons of love and care. So you see the themes that we're already starting to deal with here, and I'm hoping that they're very positive. But I feel like for a lot of Aries, whether this is something you've already experienced coming back around or the past dictating what's coming up for you, I'm feeling a little cyclical type of energy here, because we have like the past and we have the future. So it's the energy is cycling for one reason or another. Now that could be really good or rough depending on what you're going through, but we'll get more detail on it for sure. Now, when we get to the back end, we have our good pal, the Hermit himself. Okay, gets a bit of a bad reputation in tarot sometimes, and I always say every card has a positive and a challenge attached to it, and the same goes for this Hermit. Now, for a portion of you might be connected to a Virgo or someone with strong Virgo traits, because this is their card. The Hermit is a retracted, pulled back type of energy. I know I was mentioning a little bit earlier how us Aries were very action oriented. We want to go, 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 do things, push things forward. The Hermit is kind of like going in reverse. So for some of you, there might be something you're pulling your energy back from, or going back to home base. You might literally be in Hermit mode when this shows up. So like spending some time on your own. In the roughest sense, this could represent someone who's lonely or in solitude. It could represent issues with communication when Hermit's here as well, like not really speaking, not really talking. But when we talk about the positives of it, extremely spiritual, very wise. So for some of you, you might be making a choice or a decision using your wisdom and your brains when this card is here. So it could be very good. And I would say if we were to make it very simple, the Hermit could just be something, again, obscured. Something you don't quite see just yet, something that's in the shadows. So I want to dive deeper on all this, Aries. Let's jump in and clarify. I mean, for a portion of you, might just be minding your own business. Okay, but let's see what we have. Shuffle it up here. What do we got for Aries? And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that Six of Cups. And yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages that you want to give to Aries, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, Six of Cups time. What is this past energy that we are looking at? What's the Six of Cups here? Okay. Yeah, Five of Pentacles in reverse. Very, very intriguing type of energy. For a portion of you, there could be a longing or missing of someone in particular. So whether this is someone that's missing you a little bit. And remember, I don't just do solely love readings. I kind of like to cast a big net. for some of you, this could be like a really good cycle shift we're leaning into too, but I'm getting this message splitting in two different ways depending on what you're going through. Now, the Five of Pentacles, very similar to the Hermit, is that it's like solitude, it's pulled back, retracted type of energy. So when it's in reverse underneath the Six of Cups, this could be an individual or someone you have history with popping back around or making a return. So I would say for a lot of Aries in this time, you might be hearing from people you haven't heard from in quite a while. Like you might be on someone's mind. That's a big possibility here. Now, if that is not the case, the Five of Pentacles could represent the realm of the monetary. It could represent work and finances. And usually it's a bit of a rough and tough type of energy. So when I see it in reverse underneath the Six of Cups, if you've made any like financial blunders or financial mistakes, or you've had financial hardships in the past, I feel like for a lot of you, you've learned your lesson. So just know in the coming days and weeks, there could be something in regards to finance or something in regards to career where you might say, you know what, I've seen this before, or I've made this mistake in the past, I'm not going to do it again. I feel like it's one or the other. Okay. For a portion of you, this could just be fondness, right? Looking back on the past, looking back on memories, reminiscing, bringing you a nice fond energy. So let's go through and move to the Ace of Cups. Again, just to give you a quick little overview, could be somebody that you haven't heard from in a while, like returning or popping back up. And for a portion of you, if you've had financial hardships, you might be learning from those mishaps. Let's move over to the Ace of Cups. Yeah, but I would say in general, watch out for things cycling back around. Okay, situations you're already familiar with. But let's see what's up with that Ace of Cups. Why is the Ace of Cups here? I mean, I told you for the last couple of weeks, I've been seeing a lot of energy of others, like not quite the Aries, like other people's energies connected to. There is a really, really amazing offer opportunity coming in for you, my friends. And I just want to mention elementally, all earth and water so far. We have the Knight of Cups and Knight of Pentacles, pardon me, in the upright underneath this Ace of Cups. This is a very lovely, sturdy possibility here. Now, when we talk about the Knight of Pentacles, it could be an earth sign that you're connected to. So Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. If that's not the case, this is a slow mover, right? It's a slow burn. This is something that is not in a rush. It takes its time, very detail oriented. And when I see it underneath the Ace of Cups here, for a portion of you, whether this is like a conversation or talk that you've been waiting on having, remember we saw this here in the back end, so there might be a really nice conversation coming up. But I feel for a good chunk of you, there could be a massive offer that's going to be put out on the table, and there's long-lasting implications here. Okay, especially with this Knight of Pentacles. It's really good. Remember, the way the elements combine and the way the energy is moving, this isn't fly-by-night type of energy to me. It's not flash in the pan. So do with that information what you will. This feels positive to me. Another portion of you, if there's something you've been waiting on for quite a while, okay, waiting on a shift, waiting on a change, now could be the time. Okay, now this is the energy where it's like, okay, finally making progress here, finally starting to move forward. So let's see what that Hermit has to say. I feel like it's very simple, very straightforward. So let's see what the Hermit's saying. So far, so good for the most part in the energy. Things improving slowly. Why is the Hermit here for the Aries collective? Then we'll do our recap before we get into the shadows. Okay. Five of Swords. Okay. All right. This is absolutely the energy of somebody trying to lay low, avoid problems, avoid drama. Okay. And whether that's a big concern of yours or a concern of somebody else's, the Five of Swords, that's a rough type of energy. And I could say there could be somebody that has you under their microscope. So keep that in mind too. Okay. So this is not the most favorable energy that I'm picking up here on the back end. I'm just going to be straight up honest with you, but we'll talk about it. So the Five of Swords in its classical form, yeah, it could be conflict. This could be a selfish individual as well. But the main vibe I'm picking up here intuitively is one. For a lot of Aries, you might just be in focus on yourself mode, or just doing your own thing. I'm not worried about this. I'm not worried about that. I'm just doing my thing. I'm walking my path, which in that case, this is a very positive alignment, like just doing your thing. But again, with this Five of Swords and this Hermit, like it's somebody laying low. So there could be someone that's like either avoiding addressing something, avoiding addressing an issue or a situation on purpose because they're afraid of the reaction. Okay, that's another energy I'm picking up here in a strong way. And for a very, very small portion of you with the Five of Swords and the Hermit, there could be someone that's like, I don't want to sound like a fearmonger or anything, but it's like somebody keeping tabs on something. They're watching, but they're trying to like stay in the shadows for whatever reason. So just take that however it hits. Let's go through and do a quick recap here, because I would say, yeah, it's a little bit of a mixed bag, but for the most part, there's really positive energy at play. Position number one before the shadow, we have the Six of Cups with the Five of Pentacles in reverse. I did say there could be someone that has you on the mind, someone that might be missing you. I mean, you could be missing someone as well. Very possible here. There's a possibility of someone you haven't talked to in a while, like resurfacing or popping back up. So keep that in mind. Maybe make a mental note if you hear from someone that you've kind of had a falling out with. There could be a return of some sort. I also feel good movements and decisions towards finances and career. So if you have had any like monetary issues or problems in the past, I feel you avoiding those and not making the same mistake twice. Moving to the center, we have the Ace of Cups with the Knight of Pentacles in the upright. Massive energy of an offer coming in that has long-term implications. So for the next few weeks, keep those eyes open, because any like new things that are popping in, or if someone slaps an offer or an opportunity on the table, it could really affect you for a very, very long time. That's just how this feels to me. Could be a very good conversation too. So if we're linking this with the energy on the front end, it might be like a nice conversation that needed to be had. Okay, so I like that. It could be an important talk that needed to go down. On to the back end, this is where the energy is different. This is where it makes a shift. We have the Hermit with the Five of Swords. Now, a portion of you, if you're just doing your thing in your own mode, in your own lane, not letting anybody's issues or problems affecting you, that could be a very good thing. But there could also be somebody that's laying low and not addressing a situation because they're a little concerned about a reaction or how it's going to go. So there could be a situation that needs addressing. Another thing I'm picking up here, there could be someone like keeping tabs, right? Like watching and keeping a distance. So just keep that in mind. Please take a screenshot of that if you want to look into it further. Let's see what's in the shadows for you, though. Maybe we'll get a little more detail. So let's shuffle it up. What do we have in the shadows for Aries, guides and spirit team? And yeah, there's some really good stuff this week as well. What's happening? And yeah, I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards could be very good too. They don't always have to be a bad thing. So let's get you one. Oh, and yes, if you've made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. I really do. Okay, let's get this shadow card out. What do we got for my good friends? What do we got? All right, Seven of Pentacles, a patience-based karmic type of energy, also reaping what you sow. For a big portion of Aries, when we see the Seven of Pentacles, if you've been having any energy issues lately, specifically like with your vitality, or if you've just been feeling down and out for whatever reason, Spirit could be telling you to get a little time in nature. Okay, so whether that's like going to the beach, going to the lake, going to the forest, going to the desert, whatever it might be, wherever you are, some time in nature could really rejuvenate you when this card is here. But remember, we're looking at the shadows. Now, the Seven of Pentacles is prototypically a card of patience. And we did see in the center, there could be something you've been waiting to address or someone you've been waiting to talk to for quite a while. That could be resurfacing here, so keep that in mind with the Seven of Pentacles. It is also karmic, so I do feel another portion of the Aries out there, you could be going through like a massive period of cycle change and cycle shift, and that's not always comfortable. But the overarching theme of this, aside from everything I just spoke about, is that slow and steady mantra. All right, slow and steady wins the race. There's no rush in regards to something. So do with that information what you will, my friends. That's what I have for you this week. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the June subscriber surprise. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, my digital calendar is open on mastermetaphysics.com, so go ahead and check that out. And if you got your name in for the May subscriber surprise, the winners will be announced after this weekend's readings. But for the June subscriber surprise, I'm giving away 2 copies of one of my favorite decks, the Gilded Tarot Royale. So if you'd like to get your name in for that, it's 2 simple things, as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments if you could snap your fingers and visit anywhere in the world right now, where would it be? You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.